and I get to be mistaken a lot to be for a traffic police officer. So it's an experience I'm used to, and I'm loving it. I would say yes.
Or you find yourself, Maze, like other police think that you're maybe a fellow colleague.
Again, yes, a lot. They get to salute me, and yeah, I'm used to it now. Yeah, I get to receive a lot of salutes. Even yesterday, while heading to Naivasha again, I got to be saluted by traffic officers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time it is, Mazem Nat Watch. Welcome back to the Culinary Counter. My name is Monene. Na leo ase niko privileged sana kuwa na kasisi kwa show. Inakuwaje bro?
Poa sana mambo.
Niko fresh barida huko aje?
Niko fiti.
Okay.
Yeah, niko poa.
Nimesikia bro unaitwa the chief priest wa hii mtaa. Inakuwaje, jina kwanza ulitoa wapi?
Well, my biking name, I go by the name Chief Priest. Yeah, I'm not a very religious person, but I know God, so that's why I decided to go by that name. So everybody in the biking community knows me with that name, and I love it here. Yes.
So how has been your experience na story ya biking? Juna chiki mazi uko na very big bike mazi, uko na munyama hapa. So how has been the experience so far?
So far, experience has been good. I wouldn't really call it a big bike, well, because Mimi Sai, I see it as very small. I'm looking forward to upgrading. I started with a 400cc, and this is a 500cc. So I'm looking at upgrading to either the 1290 or 1290 KTM or the 1200 GSA, one of those two bikes. Yes, but so far I've loved the experience, and I've gotten to meet a lot of different people through biking, an experience that I've come to love so much, and I've gotten to learn a lot as well. Yeah.
You've told us you started with the 400cc. The 400cc was which model? Ama make gani?
It was called Zongshen. Zongshen is not a very known bike. Actually, by the time I was buying that bike, I didn't know any other bike. I was that green. So the only people who I knew that sold bikes were the ones who sold me the Zongshen. So when I got the money to buy the bike, I just had to run to them because it was the only bike that I knew. Yeah, but it was a 400cc. Well, being a proper Chinese bike, it wasn't really that powerful, but it gave me service. I owned the bike for 2 months. I rode it for within the 2 months. I covered only 2,000 kilometers, and then I got tired of it. I sold it off, and then I got this one. Yes.
So bro, you've told us you're currently using a Benelli ZR 500cc or
It's called a Benelli TRK 502. Yes.
Benelli TRK 502. Yes. It's a 500cc.
Yes, it's a 500cc. There are a lot of Benellis. So this particular one falls in it's actually a sports touring bike. A lot of people confuse it with an adventure bike. It's not an adventure bike. It's a sports touring, even though it can give you a little bit of adventure if you want, but it's not really advisable to push it so much into adventure because it's slow. It only got about 17 inches of wheels, both front and rear, and it's got spokes rims. So when you look at that combination, it's not really good for adventure. Yeah. So this is a sports touring. Benelli has two kinds of sports touring bikes. The first one is this one, the TRK 502, and then the second one is the exact half of this. It's called a TRK 251. Yeah. So this is this is bigger than that, even though they've introduced other bikes, the proper adventure bikes. There's another version of this called the TRK 502X. This is just the 502. So the 502X is meant for off-road. It's got spokes rims, and then it's got a bigger front tire, I think 19-inch. So that one you can take off-road. But then they've gone ahead to introduce others, like there's the 702, there's the 800, and then there's the 1200 GTR. Yes. Yeah.
So what do you like so much about this specific bike? Because now you own it. What maybe would you tell us that you like so much about this specific bike?
The only thing, or rather, there are two things I love about this bike. The first one is that it's very comfortable while riding, especially when you're going for long distances. It's very comfortable. You sit upright. It's low. The weight is evenly distributed. You don't get to struggle while riding it. Yeah. But the thing I love the most about this bike is that it's a beautiful bike. Yeah. And it's conspicuous for its for a bike with the engine its size. Somebody would easily confuse it for a 1200cc or something. Yeah. So the looks that it has is kind of intimidating, which is very commendable. Benelli did a good job there. Yes. Another thing, because of its looks, it gets to command a lot of respect on the road. Yeah, while you're riding on the road, you get to command respect. Vehicles get to give you right of way. You can never be pushed off the road with this bike. Yeah, so I'd say it's a safe bike to ride on the road. And like others, there are more powerful bikes than this, especially when it comes to speed bikes. But you see, somebody riding a speed bike and somebody riding this, most definitely, the one riding this is going to get more respect, despite a speed bike maybe having 1000cc and even more power than this. So this one commands more respect. Yes.
Do you have a name for this bike? Most bikers have names for their bikes, like the Green Lantern, I don't know, the Hunter. Do you have a name for this bike?
Yeah. Many people have names for their bikes, but mine, I wouldn't really call it a name. But I'm a fan of Mercedes. I love Mercedes a lot. So in the Mercedes line, there's one, or rather they have a line that they call AMG. Yeah. So there's a line of Mercedes that has AMG specs on it. So this one, I just call it the AMG because this bike has a lot of mods. It has a lot of aftermarket upgrades on it. So because of those aftermarket upgrades, I call it the AMG. Yes.
So bro, which has been one of your best adventures on this bike or with this bike?
I've had a number of adventures, but the best one must be when we have a TRK group, a group of people who have these bikes specifically, the 502 and the 251. So there's this time, I think early 2020 or mid 2020. Yeah, mid 2020, I think. We took a ride to Malindi. Yeah. So it lasted 4 days, and that must have been my best experience because we visited a lot of places, and we got to explore what this bike can really do. And it's because of that ride that even gave me, the trust to take this bike on other long distances. But the Malindi ride was a perfect one. It was a very good experience for me. Yes.
So far, that's the farthest distance you've traveled this bike from Nairobi to Malindi and back.
Well, this bike has gone to Malindi. This bike has gone to Moshi, TZ. Yeah, I think Moshi was the farthest distance. But I've done Malindi, I've done Diani, I've done Lunga, I've done I think Lunga, yeah, on those sides. Lunga was the farthest on those sides, yeah. So it's done those trips a number of times. Yeah, and I don't think there's any other place I've gone with this apart from those two, the TZ and the coastal regions. Yes.
Any worst experiences with this bike?
The worst.
Like you've ever met yourself maybe in the middle of a forest and you're on empty tank. Ama mazee, you've had a flat tire or something.
Not really. I've never had a bad experience with this. That's the good thing about, well, punctures aside, let's say when it comes to engine or mechanical issues, the best part with buying a bike at 0 mileage is that you get to know it. Yeah. So this bike I got it at 0 mileage. So it means the problems that are in this bike, I'm the one who caused them. So I know them. All right. So because of that, this bike has never left me stranded anywhere. All right. The only bad experience I'd say I've had with this bike was when I had an accident. That was in March the 20th of March this year. I had an accident. Somebody rammed me from behind on a U-turn. That was the only bad experience I've had with this bike. Otherwise, I've never gotten stranded with this because it's a very clean bike. It's still pretty new. The mileage is just about 28,000. So it doesn't have any mechanical issues. So because of that, I've never been stranded. And another thing with issues to do, running out of fuel while doing a ride, I'd say that is normally I'd call it stupid for a rider, to come across that situation. But you see, again, things happen. So mine has a 20-liter tank. Yeah. So I know exactly what distance that 20 liters is going to give me, and if I'm to go someplace, then I also get to choose. Normally, I get to choose the route. Yeah, so ensure that whatever route I'm following, it's some place. If I've not gone there, then somebody has gone there and they can tell me about it. So I get to know how many stops of petrol stations I'm going to be having there. Yeah, so. Other than that, there's no bad experience I've had with the AMG, I would say. Yeah.
So bro, first impression when someone sees you on the road, he might mistake you for a police officer or a traffic. What are they called? Traffic officers or the presidential escort, because mazi, everything that you have looks like from your helmet. Yeah. Actually, it has a label for police. So do people mistake you on the road for a police?
A lot of times, and that is actually I forgot to mention, but that is one of the best experiences I've been having with this bike. Okay. And the main reason why I haven't even sold this bike so far is because of that kind of respect. You see, you could be riding on the road, like I've had even yesterday when I was coming from Naivasha. Then I was someone outering. Then somebody pulled over by my side, and I was like, "Hey, bro, Lily, dani weni polisi?" Yeah. So I've had so many of those experiences, and I know it's because of how the bike looks and how I dress, because I dress in this and my helmet. This is actually Polizei. It's actually an Italian for police. Yeah. So that kind of respect is what I adore. And I get to be mistaken a lot to be for a traffic police officer. So it's an experience I'm used to, and I'm loving it, I would say. Yes.
Or you find yourself, maze, like other police think that you're maybe a fellow colleague.
Again, yes, a lot. They get to salute me, and I'm used to it now. Yeah, I get to receive a lot of salutes. Even yesterday, while heading to Naivasha again, I got to be saluted by traffic officers, and it's been an experience since the first day I got this bike. That's an experience that I've always had, and so far I'm used to it. Yeah, I'm just enjoying the experience now. Yes.
Let's go off the record kidogo. Tumekuwa serious for a very long time kwa issue mazi.
Tumekuwa serious.
Wacha tu spice up kidogo mazi.
Sasa hapo kunakuwa na issue. Unajua mimi nakuanga a very serious person by the way. Nakuanga serious sana. Yeah. But anyway, it's okay. It's okay, sawa.
So bro, watermelon huitwaje na Kiswahili?
tikiti maji.
Nice one mazee. Like umetupata leo mazee. Umetupata leo mazee.
I like expressing myself a lot in English because it's easier for me. Mtu asisema ati kwa sababu mimi ni Mjaluo. Yes, hiyo pia iko, lakini I find it easier to express myself in English. But I also get to pick a bit of Kiswahili here and there. Though ikikuwa ati sasa ni kuongea straight, siwezi nikaongea hivyo Kiswahili for kitu kama 10 minutes, inakuwa ni ngumu kidogo. Lakini hiyo lugha nyingine niko sawa.
Uko fluent 100%.
Hiyo niko sure. Hiyo unaweza niweke niongee English for 10 hours straight. Me, I'm good. I'll do it, yes. Yeah.
So nimefika kwa ile part mi upenda sana kwa issue mazee. Yes. Ni msanii upi ungetaka kubeba or pillion na hii bike yako hapa Kenya?
Sasa hapo kuna issue. When it comes to msanii, mimi unajua the kind of music that I listen to. Mimi nasikiza rumba bana.
So wa Kenya kwa rumba kwa out.
Sasa hapa kuna ule mtu anaimba rumba. Mimi ama rumba lover. Yeah, I love rumba music. Okay. Yeah. And again, sasa sijui ni nani naweza penda kubeba juu carrying somebody is not really an experience for me. Ni kitu unajua mimi nimekuwa nikiendesha bike. Yes. So and then most of my rides, especially nowadays, especially since I got this bike, I love riding alone. Unaona? I don't like carrying people on my back. Hata akue dem, akue mwana. First, men, I don't carry men on this bike. Yes. Na kama ni ladies, well, I've had a lot of experiences carrying ladies. Yes. Of which sasa nimeacha hiyo experience. Yeah, so nimeenda past year because most of my rides nowadays nataka tu nitoke with maybe a few friends here and there. We go for solo rides, yeah. Carrying somebody here ni kitu tiresome, yeah. Yeah, it becomes very cumbersome on you as a rider. So hiyo swali, I don't know how to answer it.
It's okay, no problem.
Yes.
So before we conclude, sitakuwa nimefanya any justice if I don't talk about safety.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, especially because when you rider umekuwa kwa barabara, maybe you've experienced fatal accident happening. Yes. Or you've had maybe a friend probably having an accident. Yes. What do you have to say about stories of safety na pia proper gears?
Even before getting to the gear part, there's something I'd like to say. In the biking community, so many people get to biking because of one, peer pressure. Another thing is that they want to carry madem. Wanaona huko nje watu wakikimbizana na mabike wamebeba madem, they get to love that experience. Another thing, kuna perception. There's a very bad perception concerning bikes and women, that sasa kama we ni biker uta attract more women. It's a lie. Utakaa huko nje utakauka mbaya sana na hiyo bike yako. Yeah, so before I begin, before you buy your bike, before buying a bike, let's say you are an aspiring biker. Before you buy that bike, know that there are a lot of things that go into biking that maybe somebody may not have told you. Now me, I'm going to tell you that today. Yeah? Buying a bike doesn't mean that now sasa umefika utattract mawanawake ama nini. Yeah, it won't happen. Yeah. So before you get it, before you make that step of buying a bike, kuna vitu lazima ujue. The first one is that yes, safety is important, all right? But there's something that goes beyond safety, all right? Personally, I have a personal accident cover. I have a good medical insurance, all right? So those are things that first you need to consider, yeah? Before getting on the road, you know that things are bound to happen, all right? You are bound to get an accident. It's not absurd to get an accident. It's normal to get an accident. You can be properly geared. Unaweza kuwa na helmet, uko na gloves, kila kitu. But then you get an accident, and then after getting that accident, you are taken to the hospital, and then unapatikana na fractures, a few fractures here and there, all right? Which normally turn out to be so expensive to take care of, or rather to treat, all right? So first thing you have to do, ukishapata pesa unataka kubuy bike. Yes, pesa uko nayo, unaenda kubuy bike, lakini kwa hiyo pesa hebu jiulize, that amount that you have, is it going to be enough to pay for your medical cover? Is it going to be enough to pay for your personal accident cover? Or are you taking care of your NHIF? Unaona, kwa sababu these are things zenye zikifanyika you'll need to get treated. Okay, so make sure you get a good personal accident cover. If it's possible, make sure you get a good medical cover, yeah, one that covers your accidents, vitu kama hizo, so that in the event that you run into an accident, you don't stress your family, yeah, kukuja kuweka harambee pale, nisema our son amepata accident, pikipiki alinunua jana, leo amepata accident, amevunja mguu, amevunja sijui ribs, anatakikana na 200,000 for operations. So make sure you get yourself covered in the form of medical. All right, ukisha jua you're going to get covered medically, then now yes, buy the bike. But then ukisha nunua your bike, jua kuna vitu kama insurance. The bike is going to need insurance. All right, the bike is going to need service. Okay, the bike is going to need taking care of, yeah. So get a good insurance. Talk to us, yeah. You can reach out to me. There are fellow bikers out there. Reach out to them. Let them tell you which companies have very good insurance. Okay, zile zenye ziko reputable companies that are known for selling good insurance. Yeah, what I mean by selling good insurance is when it comes to matters compensation. All right, juu kuna wengine utapata accident and then watakuachilia huko, you get to follow them and uchoke. Okay, so get talking to us. We'll advise you, we'll tell you the kind of insurances that we use. Then get a quotation if possible. Get even a quotation. You know the value of the bike, yeah, you know the amount you're going to pay for the bike. Go to the insurance, get a quotation from them. Nona waulize, I have this bike, it's this cc, it's this year, what's the cost? I mean, what am I going to have to pay for the insurance? Wakupatie hiyo quote, yeah. Once you have that quote, tena nitafute ama look for any other biker that you know, yeah. Waulize, where do you normally buy your gears? All right, watakuchukua, watakupeleka kwa gears, eh. Get to ask, even before getting to the gears, ask them, what sort of gears, what sort of helmet will I need, what sort of any other gear will I need, watakuambia, and then they'll take you to where these things are being sold, yeah. So once they take you there, get a quotation, because you had been advised the kind of helmet that you're going to be needing, the kind of good quality helmet you're going to be needing, get to ask, hii helmet pesa ngapi? Unaona, don't go for cheap, because again when you go for cheap, issue of safety also gets compromised. Okay, sasa angalia your helmet, uliza kama iko mzuri. Get to these biking groups, get to Africa Motorcycle Diaries. There's all bikers are there. Tuko pale, we'll get to just post the helmet, ask us a question, we'll get to one side for you. Okay, so once you've certified that this helmet is good, you've certified that these gloves are good. You see, there even gloves, there are different kinds of gloves. You've certified this glove is good. I'm going to need knee guards, I'm going to need a chest guard, I'm going to need riding boots, yeah. So once you've had all that quotation, now go back to your pocket and then ask yourself, now do I have the budget? Proper gear is going to cost you about 80,000, 80 to 100,000. That is a proper gear, yeah. That is it. You have your boots, you have your good helmet, you have your gloves, you have your body armor, you have your neck brace. If you're a beginner, you can even throw in a neck brace there, yeah. So you're looking at between 80 to 100,000. So you have that budget. Go and add to your budget for the bike. Take ile insurance, add it there. take that one for the personal accident cover, add it there, and then ask yourself, do I have the budget now? Yes. The money that you had, is it going to be enough to finance all these things? If yes, well and good. But yes, you've had the budget. Another question is, are you licensed to be on the road? There's the issue of there's the issue of license. All right. Biking, just like cars, you must be licensed to be on the road. Yeah. So do you have a driver's license? Yes, there's the driver's license. You could be having a driver's license that allows you to drive a car. Now, do you have that A2 class? All right. Do you have that class that allows you to ride a motorbike? Because again, if you don't have that class, if your driver's license does not authorize you to ride a bike, that is, if it doesn't have that class that includes a bike in it, it means that if you get an accident with your bike, no matter the kind of insurance that you have, you're not going to be compensated. All right, because you're not legally authorized to be on the road. So yes, you could be having a license that goes back 7 years, but then near gari, okay, it's not for a bike. Yeah. So before buying that bike, the final step is to ensure that you have a driver's license, and your driver's license has that A2 class, okay, one that authorizes you to ride on a motorbike. Once all that is done, ukisha make sure you've checked all those boxes, then yeah, well and good. You go ahead, buy your bike. Once you've bought your bike, there's the issue of nyumba kumi. With nyumba kumi is normally from where you come from. Kama mimi naishi hapa, the big road, the next big road iko karibu na mimi ni Outer Ring na hii Mombasa Road. So join those nyumba kumis, because those people also come in handy. Unaweza kuwa stranded mahali, then you just post there kwa group, unakuwa helped. Yes. So there's a lot into biking that meets the eye. Yeah? Isikuwe ati wewe unaangukia pesa, unaangukia 300,000, unaangukia 500,000, and then you go buy a bike. Don't do that. Make sure you have all your budget, yeah, so that you can see whether you can afford to get into this venture or not. It's a very expensive sport, by the way. Yes, it's not cheap the way some people might think. It's very expensive. Yes. Yeah.
So guys, all has been said, Mazi. Siwezi ongezea zaidi ya whatever you said, because I think I'm going to spoil whatever has been said. But bro, one last thing before tumalize.
Yes.
Are you good in mathematics?
No. I'm good in English and sciences. Mathematics is a no. Yes, sasa hapo kuna kitu.
Wacha tujaribu tuone.
Yes. Okay, ukitaka kujua me I'm poor in mathematics. If you ask me, e-bike ina consume how many liters per kilometer? Mimi sijui. Now me, what I normally do, a lot of people have asked me, hey, TRK 502, what's the consumption like? My friend, may I go to the petrol station and say jaza? And then it gets jazzed, and then I ride. Nikishaona imebaki ba moja, then I go back to the petrol station and say jaza. So I don't know, but I know that nikisha jaza nitaenda kiasi hii until ibaki moja, and then I fill up. So mathematics ngumu kidogo, lakini tunaweza jaribu.
So Andrew received 20,000 shillings.
Okay.
Caro smiled at him. How much did Andrew remain with?
Hakuna juni Caro. Yeah, of course hapo hiyo na najua hiyo actually ni social science. That is not even a mathematics. That's a social science. Okay. Because we all know these people, and especially wale wanaitwa Caro may have a personal experience with Caros. Yes. So a Caro is one that akikusmailia wewe unajua hauna kitu. Hiyo tumekafunga. But I love Caros. Yeah, they are very good people. Okay. Yes. So Andrew anaini ameishiwa. Okay. In fact, ako negative juu Jota ni kama ingia hapo mshwari pia amechukua kitu pale. Yes.
Others bro, tumeshukuru sana Mazi for your time. Yes. Also wanna ring our invite kukam kwa show yetu. Na we hope tutapatana tena kwa hizo my events pia. Otherwise viewers, thank you so much for continuing to watch our content, na muendelee kusupport by subscribing, sharing na liking, na tunawaahidi tutaendelea kuwaletea more and more content. Bro, ambia mafans wako na wale wasi wako wa subscribe mazi kwa Ride Safi ama Culinary Counter.
Culinary Counter is doing a good job. Yeah, you guys, you have no choice. Actually, you have to subscribe. Yes, kuna kitu mnangojea, just subscribe. Then you get to have very good experiences from these people. Yeah, unajua, when you watch this show, this is where you get to meet veterinary bikers. You get to meet people who have been on the road for so long. Then you get to hear from them, especially if you're an aspiring biker. Then you need to watch this show because it will be of much help to you in the coming days. Yes, Sante.
Thank you so much. Inshallah.